Hi, I'm Tim Whitmire with First Integrity Mortgage. So thank you for checking out this video. And I wanted to address first-time home buyers and those who are renting who could potentially buy a home. And so 4 objections that I feel are the most common objections to buying a house and renting instead of buying is that maybe you don't have the cash needed for the down payment to buy a home, or you're afraid the monthly payments might be higher if you buy a house versus renting. Maybe your credit's not the best and you're afraid that your credit is not good enough to buy a house. And lastly would be maintenance. If you're afraid that, hey, if I buy a home, now I'm going to be responsible if the furnace goes out or the mow the lawn and those sorts of things. So I wanted to address those issues and talk about homeownership. So first of all, I feel like possibly the most common reason for not buying a home is fear of down payment. And whether you're a first home buyer or even if you've owned a house in the past, if you haven't owned a home for 3 years, you're actually considered to be a first home buyer in the lending world. But even if you have owned a home in the last 3 years, there are still down payment assistance programs available. So you may be very, very surprised of how little that you need to buy a house. And so, and that's where I come in and search for these programs and make sure that I give you loan options. And I try to find an option that's going to make sense for you. If you're a veteran, there is 100% financing. If you buy in a rural area, there's a USDA mortgage that also allows for 100% financing. So you may be very, very surprised with how little cash that you need to buy a house. And that brings me to the next point is monthly payments. And something that is incredibly surprising to a lot of people is that it's very likely that you can own a house that's very, very comparable to what you're renting, and your monthly payments on the house that you own many times will actually be less than what the payments are for the home that you're renting. Not always, but many times it is. And I've been a part of those transactions, and I've seen it happen, and I've done that for people. And one thing that's really nice, or not so nice when you're renting, is your rents typically go up each year or every other year. You have to worry about rents going up. When you own a house and you have a mortgage, the taxes and the insurance on home will likely go up. So your payment will still go up, but very minimally, and it should go up a lot less than what it would be if you're renting. So in the long run, you're coming out ahead because you're getting security with what your payment's going to be. And all along, as you make your mortgage payment every single month, you're gaining equity in the house. And equity is the difference between what the value of your home is versus how much you owe in that house. And equity helps you in future generations build wealth. The third objection is credit. And this is where I could be super, super helpful. So if you call me up, I do want to take your loan application and I'll be able to run your credit. And you might be surprised, your credit you might already have good enough credit to buy a home. But even if you don't, I'm still happy to call you or talk to you, and I'm still encourage you to call me because I can help you with your credit. I look at credit reports every single day, and I know how to help you get your credit to increase and to get your credit to where it needs to be so that you can buy a house as soon as possible. I actually lay out a complete plan for you to make that happen. And maybe you could buy a home today, maybe not. But if not today, hopefully I can help you be in a position to buy a home as soon as possible, maybe in 6 months or a year or 2 years. So I'm more than happy to do that for you. If your concern is credit, call me anyway. And lastly is maintenance. And there is a certain amount of maintenance needed for a house. One solution for that is purchasing a condo, because many times condos, you pay an association fee, but then they cover the exterior maintenance, which is a major part of the maintenance. There are also commonly home buyer warranties when you buy a home. So there are solutions for this. Beyond that, I have a vast network of individuals that I've networked with over years, and I have relationships with people that can help you, like electricians and roofers and so on. So I can be a very, very valuable resource for you if you're concerned about maintenance. So those are a few things that prevent people from buying homes, or maybe why someone may rent versus buy. But I encourage you, call me. Let's do a loan application. Let's get the facts. There's no pressure whatsoever. It's not going to cost you anything. And at the very minimum, you'll walk away with a game plan of how you'll be in a position to buy a home as soon as possible, if that's what your goal is. So I'm Tim Whitmire, First Integrity Mortgage. You can reach me at 314-402-8184. You can call or text that number. You're welcome to email me. It's timw@firstintegrity.com. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, and reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Thank you.